Quinlan from Tipperary TV, and today I'm going to show you how to make beautiful plant decorations for Easter. And the first one we're going to make today is a decoupaged egg, and what we're going to be using are these polystyrene eggs. Now, if at the moment you can't get your hands on one of these, you can actually use an egg that has had the centre blown out by piercing it with a needle and blowing through with a straw, or also a hard-boiled egg, but that will only last for 2 weeks, okay? The other thing you need for this is a barbecue skewer. Your barbecue skewer is going to form the stem, which will also go down into your plant pot or your bunch of flowers, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is prepare the skewer, and what we're doing is we're mixing some blue and yellow paint, and we're just going to make a nice shade of green. And all you do is apply 1 coat of paint to your skewer, okay? Put it on nice and thickly, and you need to leave it dry for about 10 to 15 minutes. When your skewer is dry, you are going to need to put it into your polystyrene egg, okay? I usually do this straight away because I like to use it to hold the egg while I do the next part of the process. So, what you're using next are some nice serviettes to decorate your egg. Now, I've chosen these ones, they're just, you can get them in Tesco's, pound shops, etc. The most important thing to do when you're decoupaging is remember that the serviettes come in 3 layers, and you need to remove the top layer, okay? So that's where it can be kind of tricky. So just take your time and remove the top layer of your serviette, and you should have 2 more layers left, which you don't need for this craft, okay? What you do then is you basically cut your serviette into strips about 2 centimeters wide, okay? So you're cutting your serviette into strips about 2 centimeters wide until you end up with so many, like so, okay? So now that you have your strips cut, I would use maybe a full serviette, because what you want to do is maybe use 2 layers. What you do next is you get some PVA glue, just general PVA glue, like so. And you can use something called Mod Podge, but I find that quite expensive, especially when I'm delivering workshops to classes. So what I use is 1 part PVA glue to 2 parts water. And I mix it into a kind of a light solution, and it just forms a nice paste. So what you're going to do next is put your egg on the skewer and just apply a layer of the PVA water solution all over the egg, like so. The most important part of this is the way you start with the first 2 strips. Okay, so what I do is I start at the bottom of the egg and I apply the decoupage paper like so. I then go across to form a cross on the top of the egg. So starting from the bottom again, okay, I apply my tissue paper and I end up with a cross at the top like so. Now you'll notice it's bulky, so what you're doing is you're applying another coat of the PVA and water just over the tissue paper, and it makes it nice and flat and it adheres to the surface of the egg. And again, remember I said you can actually use a normal egg if you've blown out the middle of it, or you can actually hard boil an egg as well, but that will only keep for 2 weeks, which is okay for your Easter decorations. Now, if you find you're getting little bubbles or anything in the paper as you go, I always use the back of the brush, like so. If holding the egg is an issue with you because of dexterity issues, etc., what I usually do is I would put it into a jar for classes, and I would let them apply. I would usually put it into a jar for people with dexterity issues, etc., and I would let them apply the paper like so. And it just makes it easier, okay? But just for the purpose of demonstration, I'm going to keep going this way. So basically what you want to do is cover your whole egg with tissue paper. And then, as you apply each layer of tissue paper, remember that you're actually covering with another layer of the glue solution. You want to make it nice and hard. Now the egg will be quite heavy when it's wet with all the glue and paper, so leave it in something overnight to dry out. and the next day it will be quite light and ready to add to your flower arrangement, etc. Okay? So you just keep applying layer after layer after layer. So the following day when your egg is dry, you can either stick it into a plant pot or down into an arrangement from your garden or whatever, or you can do a few of them, into a bunch of flowers if you're giving flowers to somebody for Easter. Okay? So that's how you make the little decoupage Easter egg.